What is this?
Okay, so this is data collection for the month of March, worldwide, emails and Skype calls. So France, 70 million, Germany, 500 million, Brazil, 2 billion. Inside the US, 3.1 billion emails and calls. It's not including any of the telecom company data.
Okay, so what's the collection of Russia?
Russia is 1.5 billion.
Wait, so we're collecting twice as much in the U.S. as we are in Russia?
Yeah, I figured it was a lot, but...
This is out of hand, man.
Wait, have you shown this to anyone else?
No, you guys are the first.
Yeah, I'd be careful about that. It could seem like you're rocking the boat.
Yeah, you're right. I just, I needed to know if I was the only one that thought this was crazy.
What the fuck's going on?
Hey, Trev.
What are you doing in here?
It's nothing. I was just showing them this one slide.
My bad, Trev. I made a bet with Ed about which country we're collecting the most signals from.
Yeah, I ain't head out. I'll see you guys.
You're going down next time, man.
Okay.
I don't want anyone unauthorized in here again, especially not with Heartbeat.
You're right. Won't happen again.
Scott Eastwood! Scott, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on kind of a banner couple of years here. I think you got like 3 movies this year, a couple movies next year, a few last year. You're a hardworking guy, huh?
Yeah, we try to keep them lined up.
Is that how it goes?
Uh-huh, that's how it goes.
Talk to me about Snowden. How did you land this role? What was it like for you to work with Oliver Stone?
Well, when you hear Oliver Stone is doing a new movie in town, everybody sort of knows about it, and everybody wants to audition for him. So I went and auditioned for him, and he called me back.
Now, did you initially audition for this role, or did you just sort of go in and...
No, yeah, there wasn't really a script to read. They were pretty secretive about it, and you go in and you audition for him. You don't know what he thinks or anything about it, and then he calls you back, and then I hadn't read the script actually. The first day I showed up, he said, "Well, I got this part for you in the movie," and I said, "Okay, I'd love to read it." Then there was no script for like another month, and the kid said, "Okay, well, yeah, we're going to shoot it soon," and I said, well, "I'd love to read it," and then finally he let me read a little bit of it.
Like your scenes alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you have these really fantastic scenes with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's doing a sort of spot on Edward Snowden.
He executed this role perfectly.
I can't imagine that he broke character at all on set, because to sort of maintain something like that is pretty difficult.
Yeah, no, he's very very focused. He was very nice, and some people get a little too method, I think, and then they forget that it is a job and that everybody's got to be there at the same time. So, but he was great. He was really great to work with.
And what was it like to work with Oliver Stone?
Oh, he was great. He's pretty old school, which I like.
Has he tempered a little bit with age? Because there's all the great stories of him in his early days on like JFK and before that, just like a wild man on set. In the sense of like, we're shooting this, we're getting that, we're going to shoot everything around all the time.
Yeah, he's still got a lot of energy. And he's not afraid to tell you, when you suck.
How does he? Did he ever have to tell you that?
Yeah, he just says, be better. Go be better. Yeah.
I feel like you can handle something like that. You have worked with David Ayer, and he's known to sort of not mince words with his actors either.
No, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, he told me I suck. Be better.
So you can handle a brutal director every now and then.
Yeah, I actually like it. I like with a director who's not afraid to tell you what you're doing wrong, because some guys don't know what they want, and then you're sort of stuck in this. Well, I don't even know if he knows what he wants. I gotta go, figure out if I'm doing it right.
I gotta ask, your dad's Clint Eastwood, right? And you sign on to work with Oliver Stone making an Edward Snowden movie. Did he have any thoughts about that? They're two phenomenal directors of politically somewhat opposed points of views at times.
No, I think, I really like film with controversy. I think it's great for art, it's great for film, so anything that's sort of a hot button topic, I like, and I think my dad wants to see the film, so.
Absolutely. I mean, he just had an incredible weekend with Sully this past weekend.
Yeah, he made another fantastic movie. I'm so proud of him. I mean, it's just such a great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's amazing.
It's really fantastic. It's really it's incredibly well done. As is Snowden. So you get on set, these great scenes with you and Keith Stanfield and Ben Schnechter, I believe his name is, excuse me.
Yep.
Were these guys cast along with you? Were you guys all cast at the same time?
Yeah, we were all sort of in that same, we'd love to read a script thing.
Oliver Stone's got a movie, get me a script,
Yeah.
get me a script.
Can we read a script?
And he just does not show you the script.
Yeah, it's sort of secretive about it. Yeah.
What was your point of view on sort of Prism and everything Edward Snowden sort of had done? Did you do any research going into the movie beforehand, or did you kind of want to stay focused on your part?
Prior to the film, I really didn't know that much. I just knew what I'd read in the headlines, sort of, what I thought was the same thing, WikiLeaks and Snowden, and then going into the film, then I realized, well, they're very different things, and it was really interesting to read and to listen to some of the guys who worked at the NSA and sort of in that time or shortly thereafter, to hear their thoughts and hear what they thought about it. And so it was interesting.
It's kind of cool to see you in a role like this, sort of coming off of Suicide Squad, where you're a character that's in the military, or even something like Fury, or even something like The Longest Ride, where you're sort of a bull rider, right? Or
Yeah.
And then you're in this, and you're just kind of like an office bureaucrat drone.
Very uptight.
What was that like for you to sort of switch it up like that?
I like it. I like playing characters. Sometimes when you're the lead of a film, you aren't playing as much of a character sometimes because you're the vehicle for the audience to get on the ride. And then, when you get to play a character, you get to kind of be you, because you just come in for a little bit and then you leave. You don't have to carry the whole movie.
You get to be a little more idiosyncratic. You get to be sort of like explore the scenes a little bit more, rather than, you said, sort of be this kind of like blank gateway that the audience can project everything onto.
Yep.
Yeah. You are cast in the next Fast and Furious movie. Is that not correct?
This is correct.
Can you tell us anything? I really think maybe that's it. That's all I got to get for that.
That's it.
Can you tell us anything about it?
8 times more furious.
Is that a lot of? It's done shooting, right?
It is done. Yeah.
Was that a lot of fun? A fun set to be on?
We had an amazing time. We shot it down in Atlanta this summer. They actually went to Cuba. I wasn't in the Cuba section. There's a small bit in Cuba, and then we shot the bulk of it in Atlanta, and it was really fun. I mean, every day was a fun party. Tyrese had a barbecue every day on set, and music, and Ludacris would do the same. So they do dueling barbecues, and it was great. It was really fun.
Is it tough to be sort of the new guy on set with that crew? They've been together for a while now.
No, they really welcomed me in with open arms, and if it wasn't for that, it would have been tough. But they were so gracious and nice to me that I had a really great summer.
There's another movie on your list called Overdrive that you just finished shooting, right?
Yeah.
Is that a car movie as well?
It's a car movie. It's a classic car heist movie.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you've got Overdrive and you've got Fast 8 coming out.
We're coming in hot.
Are you going to be making a lot more car movies as well? Are car movies going to be your thing?
I love cars. I mean, I love. I'm a big classic car fan. I have a classic car, and
what do you have?
I have a '62 Ford. A 62 Cadillac. It's a drop top, and it's fun. It's fun.
That's amazing.
Sundays.
How long have you had that?
I've had it a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, not since '62, but.
Talk to me about coming up as an actor for you in the last couple of years, because the last couple of years, I will say, I think maybe since your film with Britt, The Longest Ride, you've really gotten a lot of amazing roles. And before that, you were working really hard in Hollywood. There were some like B-horror movies here and there, some small indie films.
Yep.
When did you notice things start to kind of take off for you? And does it even feel like they've taken off yet?
No, yeah, I actually said probably in my mid-20s that I was gonna give myself to 30, and if it didn't really work, I was probably gonna go do something else.
What would that thing have been? Was it undetermined at the time?
No, I was thinking I wanted to be a firefighter. I want to be a firefighter. I thought that it was going to be like keep me on my feet and, you know, be doing something interesting every day. But then stuff started to happen, so.
You and Steve Buscemi are the two sort of firefighters turned actors that I can think of. You
Well.
share that with Steve Buscemi, maybe not anything else.
Maybe not.
So what was it like for you kind of coming up in Hollywood and working your way to this point?
A lot of bartending, a lot of valet parking cars.
Did you ever park anyone famous's car?
I've parked my dad's car.
I just imagine that it'd be kind of funny for some like actor in LA to be like, wait, Clint Eastwood's son just parked my car? What do I do with that?
I don't remember anyone specific. I'm sure there were.
Right.
But I don't remember anyone.
Let's turn it over to the audience for some questions. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Scott?
Did your father ever like give you any advice on like being an actor or like your career? And would you work on a movie where he directs it?
Well, I've worked on a few films he's directed, and he doesn't intellectualize too much about acting or about the career aspect of it. He just sort of, you know, go figure it out kind of guy. But yeah, I'd love to. I'm trying to put something together with him and I. Hopefully, me starring in it. That'd be great.
Next question.
Hey Scott, thank you for being here. How tech savvy are you in real life?
Pathetic.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to know if there was one director that you really want to work with in the future and why.
The list is pretty big, but probably Ridley Scott or Chris Nolan.
Why is that?
I think they take these big epic films, but they also have the characters are really rich within these big sort of epic movies. So they get people to come see the films, which is harder this day and age because movies are the theater experience has become about tentpole films and a big sort of intellectual properties that have following, whether it be a book or a comic book or graphic novel or whatever it may be. So it's harder to get people to go to smaller movies in the theater. So you end up sort of having to do a bunch of these big tentpole films if you want a movie career, and then trying to balance them with a movie that you really want to do. And those two sort of seem to put it together really well, where there's like a big tentpole thing, and then they have great characters in them.
Yeah, they're able to sort of create tentpole movies based off of really great stories rather than just sort of some kind of comic book or something else. Mm-hmm. Next question.
Hi, Scott. I know you're in the movie Fury, which is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. And I was just wondering, what was it like working with David Ayer?
He's great. I've worked with him twice. I worked with him on Suicide Squad and Fury. He's old school. He's actually a Navy man. A lot of people don't know this about him. He worked on a sub in the Navy for many years. So he's a real, no bullshit kind of guy. You'd come prepared, and you don't really mess around too much on his set.
I interviewed David and some of the cast for Fury when that movie was released, and I was told that there were, to get prepared for scenes at the beginning of the day, the cast would essentially wrestle and fight in the mud. Were you ever a part of any of those matches?
Yeah.
Can you talk about those a little bit without maybe upsetting the studio or the insurer behind the movie?
No, he's a big martial arts fan, and I've been a big martial art fan my whole life. Big jiu-jitsu guy and Muay Thai, and so I loved it because every day he'd have a couple guys in there teaching a class, or we'd do sparring. We'd spar with one another. We'd box each other. And it wasn't every day, but it was a lot, and it was just sort of breaking down any bullshit you have with a bunch of guys, a lot of testosterone, on set every day. So it was a good outlet. I think.
Were the makeup artists like on the sidelines, just like, don't get a black eye, don't get a black eye?
There was probably some worried people around. Yeah.
Did anybody ever get hurt?
I mean, a little bit, sure. Yeah, but nothing that athletes or people who are active can't handle.
Did you spar Brad Pitt?
I never sparred Brad Pitt. No, I never did.
Did you spar Shia?
I did.
He seems scrappy.
He's a squirrely little guy. He is. He's scrappy.
But he seems like a hard worker. Like he won't give up.
Yeah, no. He's it shows in his acting too. He's a very hard worker.
Did you spar Logan? Little guy.
I believe so. Yes, I did.
Did you take it easy on him? I mean,
might have taken it easy on him.
Scott, when can people see Snowden?
Snowden comes out this Friday.
This Friday. Congratulations, man, on a great year, great couple years. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks, man.
Very much.